The seeds that secretly harm seniors. Hello there, my friend. I hope you're feeling calm and healthy today. Before we dive in, I want to thank you for being here. And if you care about staying strong and active after 60, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss another tip that could protect your health and help you live better, longer. Now let me ask you a simple question. When was the last time you thought about the seeds you eat? Maybe you sprinkle sunflower seeds on your salad, or you add chia to your smoothie because everyone says it's healthy. Maybe you even keep a jar of mixed seeds in your kitchen, thinking you're doing something great for your heart. But here's the surprising truth that most people over 60 don't realize not all seeds are your friends. Some of them, despite being labeled superfoods, can quietly sabotage your body. And today, we're going to uncover 4 dangerous seeds that can silently accelerate aging, worsen joint pain, and even harm your heart. Let's begin with the one almost everyone thinks is harmless. Sunflower seeds. For decades, we've been told that sunflower seeds are a healthy snack. They're rich in vitamin E, they taste great, and you see them in everything: trail mix, granola, bread, and snack bars. But here's the problem. Sunflower seeds are packed with omega-6 fatty acids, and while omega-6 isn't bad on its own, too much of it becomes toxic for seniors. You see, your body needs a careful balance between omega-6 and omega-3 fats. According to research from Nutrition and Aging, the ideal ratio is around 4:1. But when seniors snack daily on sunflower seeds, that ratio can shoot up to 18:1 or more. That imbalance turns your bloodstream into an inflammation factory. I remember one of our patients, Margaret, a retired librarian in her early 70s. She loved sunflower seeds, sprinkled them on her salads, yogurt, and granola every single day. She thought she was being healthy. But she started to notice her ankles swelling, her energy dropping, and her knees aching each morning. Her blood test showed her inflammation markers were 3 times higher than normal. Once she cut out sunflower seeds and replaced them with chia and flax, her swelling went down in just 10 days. Within 3 weeks, she felt light on her feet again, walking nearly 40 minutes each day instead of just 10. Sometimes, the smallest daily habit can make the biggest difference. So if you're over 60 and struggling with fatigue or stiff joints, take a look at that little bag of sunflower seeds in your kitchen. It might be doing more harm than you think. Now let's talk about a seed that most people don't even realize they're eating. Cottonseed, or more specifically, cottonseed oil. Cottonseed oil hides inside so many processed foods, crackers, salad dressings, and even so-called healthy granolas. But this oil contains a natural toxin called gossypol. It's the plant's way of protecting itself from insects, but in humans, especially older adults, it can damage the heart's electrical rhythm and weaken muscles. A 2016 toxicology reports review showed that exposure to gossypol creates oxidative stress in heart tissue and disturbs potassium balance, both of which can trigger irregular heartbeats and fatigue. Let me tell you about Joan, a 70-year-old woman who came to our clinic complaining of exhaustion and strange fluttering in her chest. She thought she was just getting older. But when we looked closer at her diet, we found the culprit. Every snack and salad dressing she used contained cottonseed oil. We removed it completely and switched her to whole foods roasted chickpeas, olive oil, and avocado. Within 2 weeks, her muscle cramps disappeared. By the 3rd week, her heart fluttering stopped. She told me she finally felt alive again. So, my friend, if you ever feel tired for no reason or notice your heartbeat skip occasionally, check your pantry. Cottonseed oil might be the hidden reason. Next up, sesame seeds. Now I know what you're thinking. Wait, sesame seeds? Those tiny little things on my hamburger bun? Yes, they may look harmless, but for older adults, sesame seeds can sometimes be risky. They contain compounds called phytates, which can block the absorption of essential minerals like calcium and zinc. For a younger digestive system, this isn't a big deal, but as we age, our gut becomes less efficient. For seniors, that means phytates can rob your bones of the nutrients they desperately need. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that high phytate diets reduced calcium absorption in older adults by nearly 27%. That's a serious risk for anyone worried about osteoporosis or brittle bones. And it doesn't stop there. Sesame has also become one of the top new food allergens in adults, recognized officially by the FDA as a major allergen. Many seniors experience low-level sesame reactions without realizing it: constant sneezing, dry skin, or fatigue. I remember Linda, a 69-year-old retired nurse, who came in with joint pain and rashes that no cream could fix. She had tried eliminating dairy and gluten with no success. We finally discovered the real issue: she was eating hummus daily, which contains tahini, ground sesame. Once we replaced sesame with avocado and walnuts, her skin cleared and her joint pain nearly vanished within 2 weeks. That's the power of awareness. Sometimes the healthy food is the one keeping you unwell. Finally, let's talk about the most surprising one: chia seeds. Chia is marketed as a miracle superfood full of fiber and omega-3s. But here's something most people don't know. Chia seeds can be dangerous if eaten dry or not soaked properly. They expand up to 12 times their size when they absorb water. In young people with strong digestion, that's fine. But in seniors with slower digestion or acid reflux, it can cause severe blockages. There are real medical cases of older adults choking or even needing surgery because dry chia formed a gel mass in their esophagus. I'll never forget Roberto, a 74-year-old truck driver who came in looking pale and bloated. He had started eating dry chia with his cereal. Within a week, he couldn't have a bowel movement for 5 days. His belly was distended, and he was in pain. We stopped the chia, hydrated him properly, and switched him to soaked flax. Within days, he felt normal again. So if you love chia, soak it first at least 30 minutes before eating. Or better yet, choose flax or hemp seeds, which provide the same nutrients without the risk. These are the 4 seeds that can quietly sabotage your health after 60: sunflower, cottonseed, sesame, and dry chia. They don't seem dangerous at first glance, but their effects on the aging body can be significant. The good news? You can reverse much of the damage by replacing them with the right seeds, and we'll cover those in the next part. But before that, let me leave you with a short reflection. As we age, the danger often hides in what's familiar, the foods we've trusted for years. Health isn't just about eating clean, it's about understanding what your body needs now. The body you had at 40 isn't the same as the one you live in at 70. And when you give it the right support, it rewards you with strength, clarity, and energy you thought you'd lost. Seeds that heal, not harm. After we've uncovered the seeds that secretly challenge your body, it's time for something more uplifting: the quiet heroes in your pantry. These are the seeds that heal instead of harm, the ones that support your heart, mind, and bones without demanding anything in return. If you treat your body like an old tree, strong but weathered, these are the tiny roots that help it bloom again. Let's begin with a seed that deserves more respect than it gets: pumpkin seeds, also known as pepitas. I like to call them the heart's best friend. These emerald green gems are loaded with magnesium, a mineral that silently regulates your heartbeat, nerve function, and even your sleep cycle. For people over 60, magnesium becomes as precious as gold. It keeps your muscles from cramping, your heart from racing, and your bones from becoming fragile. There was once a retired teacher, 66 years old, who told me she couldn't sleep more than 4 hours a night. She had tried everything: milk before bed, meditation, even sleeping pills. When we reviewed her diet, she barely had any sources of magnesium. So we added a small handful of pumpkin seeds each evening, lightly roasted, unsalted. Within 2 weeks, she told me, "I don't just sleep longer, I sleep deeper." That's the quiet magic of nourishment. Sometimes the medicine you need isn't in a pharmacy, it's in your kitchen jar. The second healing seed might surprise you: chia seeds. These tiny black pearls were once considered the food of ancient warriors. The Aztecs used them for endurance, but today, they're the gentlest warriors your heart could ever ask for. When soaked in water, chia seeds expand and form a gel-like texture, rich in soluble fiber. That fiber slows down sugar absorption, keeps cholesterol under control, and helps digestion move smoothly, something every senior body appreciates. But what makes chia truly special is its hydration power. For older adults who often forget to drink enough water, a glass of chia gel can keep you hydrated from the inside out. I remember one gentleman who used to struggle with constipation and fatigue. He thought it was just old age catching up. I suggested he start his mornings with chia water, 1 tablespoon of seeds soaked overnight in a cup of water with a squeeze of lemon. A week later, he smiled and said, "I feel lighter, like my body finally woke up." Sometimes, the simplest rituals bring the biggest transformations. Next, let's talk about black sesame seeds, the quiet protectors of memory and vitality. In Eastern medicine, black sesame is a sacred food for longevity. It's believed to nourish the kidneys, strengthen the brain, and darken graying hair. Science today backs much of that tradition. These seeds are rich in iron, calcium, and vitamin B complex, all crucial for maintaining blood flow and energy in older adults. I'll never forget one woman in her 70s who told me her grandmother lived to 98 and still ground black sesame into her morning porridge. She said it keeps the spirit awake, she told me. That phrase stayed with me, keeping the spirit awake. When I look at the elderly who maintain bright eyes and quick minds, they all share one thing: small, consistent habits that feed not just the body, but the spirit. A spoonful of black sesame, gently toasted and sprinkled on rice or yogurt, is one of those habits worth keeping. And the fourth, perhaps the most underrated of all hemp seeds. Don't let the name scare you. Hemp seeds are pure, nutritious, and perfectly legal. They contain the ideal balance of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, meaning they support heart health without triggering inflammation like sunflower seeds often do. But their real power lies in their protein and amino acid profile. They're one of the few plant foods that provide all 9 essential amino acids. For seniors losing muscle mass with age, hemp seeds are like a gentle rebuild kit for the body. I once advised a 70-year-old man recovering from knee surgery to add a spoonful of hemp seeds to his morning smoothie. He told me, half joking, "It feels like I've oiled my hinges." Within months, his recovery was smoother and his energy levels steadier. Nutrition can't turn back time, but it can slow the ticking. Now, when you compare these seeds, pumpkin, chia, black sesame, and hemp, they share a quiet wisdom. They don't rush your body, they support it. They hydrate, stabilize, and fortify instead of overworking your organs. Unlike the superfood hype seeds that burn too brightly, these ones burn steadily like a calm flame in a lantern. If you want to incorporate them safely, here's what I often recommend. Eat a small handful, about 1 to 2 tablespoons daily, never more than your body asks for. Rotate them through your week: pumpkin on Monday, chia on Tuesday, sesame on Wednesday. Your body loves variety as much as your mind does. Always soak or toast lightly when needed. It makes nutrients more absorbable and gentler on your digestion. Most importantly, listen to your body. If something causes bloating, skip it for a few days. Your body is the best nutritionist you'll ever have. After 60, the secret to longevity isn't in extreme diets or miracle cures. It's in harmony, knowing what to let go of and what to invite in. Seeds, in their purest form, remind us of life itself. Small, humble, but full of power when treated with respect. In the next part, we'll tie everything together. We'll reflect on what these tiny foods can teach us, not just about nutrition, but about living well, aging gracefully, and choosing balance over obsession. Because every seed carries a message. It's not how fast you grow, but how deeply you root. The lesson of the seeds, growing gracefully after 60. When you think about it, seeds are the perfect teachers for life after 60. They start small, full of silent potential. They don't rush to grow. They wait for the right moment, the right soil, the right season, the right care. And when they finally sprout, they do so quietly, purposefully, without needing applause. Isn't that what aging gracefully really is? It's not about fighting time, but about aligning with it, about blooming in your own rhythm. We've talked about the seeds that harm and the seeds that heal. But beneath all that science and nutrition, there's a deeper story, one about wisdom, patience, and awareness. When you reach your 60s, you start to realize that health isn't something you chase anymore. It's something you protect. Every choice you make, what you eat, what you think, how you rest, becomes a form of self-respect. You see, for decades, many of us were told that more was better. More supplements, more vitamins, more of this superfood or that detox drink. But life has a way of teaching us the opposite. After 60, the real magic lies in less but better. You don't need to flood your body with everything, you just need to give it what it truly needs and stop giving it what it doesn't. That's why understanding your food is so important. Take the sunflower seed, for example. It taught us that even something natural can create imbalance when we're unaware. Sesame reminded us that nostalgia isn't always nutrition. Flaxseed showed us that too much of a good thing can still be harmful. And poppy seeds, those tiny dots, warned us that even harmless indulgence has a hidden side. Then came the healer's pumpkin seeds that taught us to sleep deeply, chia seeds that reminded us to stay hydrated, black sesame that whispered wisdom about memory and vitality, and hemp seeds that showed us how to rebuild strength from within. Each seed, in its own way, mirrored a piece of life's journey, moments of excess, balance, correction, and rebirth. I remember one of my oldest patients, a gentle 83-year-old man named Mr. Min. He used to joke, "Doctor, I've survived wars, but not my own kitchen." His table was full of health products, supplements, teas, and imported seeds that promised youth. One day I asked him to stop everything for a week and just eat simple rice, vegetables, a handful of good seeds, and plenty of water. After 7 days, he came back smiling. "You know," he said, "I didn't feel like I was curing anything, I just felt at peace." That peace, that gentle clarity is the real measure of wellness. It's not about adding years to your life, but about adding life to your years. Our generation often forgets that the body doesn't need to be perfect to be well. It only asks to be understood. A stiff joint, a slower heartbeat, a wrinkle. They're not failures. They're nature's reminders that we've lived. And just as a seed needs to shed its shell to grow, we too must shed our old fears, fear of aging, fear of weakness, fear of time. When you learn to accept the rhythm of your body, you stop fighting it and start nourishing it. You become the gardener of your own well-being. There's also a spiritual side to this. Every seed carries potential, but it must surrender, it must fall into the earth and dissolve before it becomes something greater. In the same way, aging isn't the end of growth. It's a transformation. It's the time when we stop chasing the surface and start nurturing the roots. That's why I always tell my patients, don't just eat to survive, eat to connect. When you eat something wholesome, like pumpkin or black sesame, think of it as an act of gratitude, gratitude for the earth, for your journey, and for the body that's carried you this far. Let's talk about something practical for a moment. Many seniors ask me, "Doctor, what's the perfect daily routine for me?" I always answer, "There's no single perfect one, but there is one that fits you." Still, there are a few timeless habits that serve almost everyone. 1. Begin your morning with water and calmness. A glass of warm water with chia or lemon wakes the body gently, not abruptly. 2. Eat simply, not richly. Think of your meals as fuel for the mind, not trophies of indulgence. 3. Move daily. Walk, stretch, breathe. The body is a river, it must flow. 4. Rest deeply. Sleep isn't wasted time, it's repair time. 5. Smile often and forgive easily. Stress ages the cells faster than sugar ever could. These habits, combined with awareness of what you eat, create a kind of invisible strength, a rhythm that sustains you from the inside. Now, coming back to seeds, they are symbols of patience and hope. When you plant them in the right soil, they don't rush to show results. They trust the process. Likewise, your health won't transform overnight. But every mindful meal, every peaceful night's sleep, every moment of gratitude is a seed planted for tomorrow's vitality. So the next time you look at your plate, think beyond calories and nutrients. Think about the story behind each bite. Is it something that brings harmony or conflict to your body? Is it something that nourishes your years or steals them quietly away? If you choose wisely, you won't just add more days to your calendar, you'll add more life to each day. And if I can leave you with one thought, let it be this. Aging isn't about losing power. It's about refining it. Like the seed that becomes a tree, you don't become less, you become deeper, stronger, and more rooted. The secret isn't in fighting time, it's in flowing with it. So let's honor our bodies the way nature intended, not by forcing them to stay young, but by helping them stay balanced. Let's eat with intention, rest with purpose, and live with gratitude. Because every meal, every seed, every breath is a reminder that life still grows even after 60.